Well, hello. Fancy meeting you here. So, today's our last day in the office. A sad, sad day. Um, but this was our home for 2 months. We lived there and we ate right there and we slept right here. Not really. We didn't live here the whole time. Sometimes we were at the DeCillos and the Gustafsons and just around Littleton, things like that. Anyways, last day in the office. And because of that, we'd like to make the most of our last day through this, our signing off of the Intern Show. And this is how we decided to do it.
Yeah, so we decided to go around the office and talk to some staff who love y'all and just to get their input on 2 questions. So let's go ahead and get started.
I would be Sophie Aldrich because she's so sweet and her wardrobe is amazing. And I would love to dress just like her. And she's super cute and sweet. Did I mention that? And she gives good hugs.
To me, it's hard to pick one single person. I did think of Sophie immediately as well. All because of the same reason. She's a sweet girl. She's very kind. She's loving. Just fun to be around. But there's a lot of young people in the youth group. Christian Bauer, he's another good
He's
one.
Precious, yes.
Oh, Christian's out now, but
yeah, well, Keaton. I mean, let's talk about Keaton. I think we could pick Keaton because obviously he's going to drive sports cars for a living at some point in his life, and I want to do that. Don't you want to do that? I want to do that.
and Brenner, he's such an artist.
Well, he's not in youth group anymore.
I know, he's gone. But so is Christian. Well,
Anyway.
sorta.
I mean, I think it's a tie between like Dominic Bauer and Carter, mainly because of their huge muscles and how much they can eat.
I'd be Ryan Culbertson because she comes from such a splendid family. It's just one of the best kids that God has ever created, and as long as she quit bugging her granddad and waking him up when he's trying to sleep, walking through the house, that I'd be Ryan.
Anyone in the youth group? Wow. This youth group, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This youth group. Littleton youth group. Okay. You know what? There's not one particular person. I think anybody in the whole student group, because you're a part of that whole dynamic of the youth group. And I love that. I mean, it's not all easy, not all fun, but it's fun times, it's worshipful times, it's spiritual times, it's hard times. And the thing I've learned and still learn, and this is one of those life lessons that goes on and on, I think, until we die, is that you grow the most through the hardest times. And so through those hard times doesn't mean there's failure. It means this is when we're growing. So I think anybody that gets to be a part of the Littleton youth group, that's what I would want to be.
Well, if I could be anyone in the youth group, it'd be easy. I'd be DK, or David, as he's also known as, because I wouldn't have to wear shoes, and I'd have more hair and a fancy haircut, and I could wear sweatpants everywhere, and I'd be really good at technology stuff, unlike most Wednesdays. So yeah, David.
I think I'd probably be Chris DeCillo, because that guy is cool and I like him. I like how he has a heart for teens and that he gives up his time and he devotes his talents and his treasure to the youth group. I mean, he leads a small group, and I think that what he does is amazing work. And so if I was anybody in the youth group, I know that might be a cop-out because he's not technically a youth, maybe in some countries, but maybe he's still in that adolescence phase of his life, because it kind of keeps stretching, but not like adolescent, like living in his parents' basement adolescent, not kind of like Connor and Kristen live in his basement and who are adolescent married people, but like a really grown adolescent, like a adolescent who is married to Jennifer and they are just super awesome, like old adolescent people, but not old like Mike Myers old, but like in between, like a Tyler and Aubrey old, which is not really old, but it's kind of young. You get what I'm saying, right?
Youth group. I love youth group. I love youth group kids, all youth group kids, because they love on us and they talk to us. They include us in their conversations. They come in and say hi to us. They make our day. Any one of them that comes through the office just makes our day. They just do.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch as they learn something new.
Yeah.
And they're fun to watch as they help people, which they constantly are wanting to do something to serve someone else.
Maybe.
And they do such a good job.
Including serving us by coming in here.
They're good.
They're awesome.
Well, I mean, I'm super thankful for the youth group, for all the help that they give to the children's ministry and family ministry, and they give their time and their talents pretty selflessly and willingly and with a great attitude, and I really appreciate that. How it's impacted me personally is, my kids have found community and love in the youth group and found, really lifelong friends, and so that's been a huge impact on our life and our family.
Well, the tradition of the Littleton Youth Group goes back, at least with my involvement in it, to 1973. So you watch all of the kids who have come through and the interns and the youth ministers that followed in my footsteps and the splendid youth group that we have now. So they're very important to me.
I think the biggest things when I hear about the group going downtown or doing social justice events, those are the biggest to me, because when I hear Carter talking about how it affected him out on the streets with the people that are houseless, people that when you're out just like on the streets with these people, that this is their lifestyle, and we're out helping them as best we can. So any event like that, I think that's the biggest effect on me.
Well, it's impacted my hairline. It's impacted my waist size. It's made me uglier. It's hurt my self-esteem. But besides that, it's been pretty good, and I've had some awesome relationships and learned to love and care for a lot of students that I care about a whole lot. So, love you guys.
Well, I'd say the youth group has impacted and affected my life, which is how encouraging they are. They've always been very kind to me and my family and my kids, and they've loved on them, they've loved on us, they've just been really nice. And even like when they fall asleep during my sermons, they don't really snore too loud, and they kind of check on each other, to make sure that I don't see them texting while I'm preaching, which really is very gracious of them, and it really builds me up while I'm preaching. And I love it that whenever I specifically address them during my sermons, that they actually pretend to look like they've been paying attention the whole time. So that's how they really encourage me. It really builds me up, and I love them so much for it. No, seriously, I really love the Littleton Youth Group. I love what they're doing. I love their service. I love their heart for doing things in the name of Jesus, and I like how they like being with each other, and I just think that's a really awesome testimony that God's at work in the youth group. So yeah, hey youth, you're not just the church of 5 years from now, you're the church of today. So kudos, guys, keep it up.
And you want me to tell you one of my favorite stories?
Absolutely.
Because all of you guys will know David and Kat Dent, and you see their mother and think she's just this person who never got in trouble at all. But one time we were on a mission trip in Gooding, Idaho, and we would go up there and we would serve the town of Gooding, Idaho, and we'd load the kids up on the vans and take them out to houses, and then we'd try to remember where all of them were. But Debbie Curry Dent, and another one of our kids, Kim Bevel, we couldn't find them, so I thought I knew where they were, and I go back to that house and I knock on the door, and the lady comes to the door and said, well, we're just kind of playing a game downstairs. Well, we go downstairs and Kim and Debbie are both tied up, and the lady is a witch. And the girls were just scared to death. Now, Debbie remembers it. Kim denies it totally. So that's one of the more memorable things that I will always remember. And none of you kids ever will get involved in that, right? Okay.
Hello?
Debbie,
Yes, sir.
they have asked me one of the most memorable things about the youth group.
Okay.
And you know what came to mind immediately.
I do.
And they go, really?
Yes, really.
All right, so that was several of the people who are in your lives all the time, and what you mean to them, and how you've affected their lives in various different ways. And I think we could interview most of the church and have very similar answers of how you've impacted and affected the church and the Wilton community. And I think that says a lot about you guys, and we're gonna miss you.
Yeah, so like we said, this is our last day, our last intern show. So thanks for all the memories and for the fun times and everything in between. We loved being y'all's intern, and we hope that y'all have a great school year. And This is Kristen and Connor. We're the Mills, and we're signing off. Till next time.
Nobody's used to seeing me with glasses. How do I look?
Great.
Wait.
Camera ready.
Wowie. Mayo, mayonnaise. Mayo, mayonnaise. Yeah, heard that. Okay. All right, we're ready. You've been probably recording this whole time, haven't you? Hi.